You're live.
Anything else?
Well, Billy.
What are we doing here today, Austen?
I have told myself for a number of years now that I would publish a YouTube video about my experience building Ripley. Ripley is an expedition truck, and she is parked right behind me.
So let's dive into it.
Let's do it.
You mentioned her already, but where does the name Ripley come from?
The truck is named after the female lead in the Alien franchise. Just a badass lady, and at the time when I started building the truck, it felt very fitting.
When did this start?
I started thinking about this project over 5 years ago. I had a van prior to this that I was living in, and I did the van life thing. And of course, I realized I wanted more space and more comfort. And I saw one of these trucks out in the wild, and I'd never seen anything like it before. And I knew then that I wanted one. I didn't know then what they cost. I could potentially build one of these myself. The only issue was I don't know what I'm doing.
What has the process been to get Ripley where she is today?
Well, it's been pretty simple. Ripley's a self-build. There are companies out there that will build you an entire expedition truck. That is not what Ripley is, and so the process has been fragmented. You can break it up into selecting and purchasing the chassis, the upgrades to the chassis to change it from a two-wheel drive truck to a six-wheel drive vehicle, the construction of the subframe, the thing that sits on top of the chassis between the chassis and the box to protect the box from flexing, and of course the construction of the habitat. I worked with different people for each one of those phases of the build, and each one presented its own unique challenges.
So we're 5.5 years deep into this.
We are.
If you could go back to the moment you decided to do the build, would you make the same decision?
I would make the same decision. I would go forward with the build. Hi, I'm Austen, and I'm building an expedition truck. It's the first week of the interior build out, and I'm going to catch you up on the progress made so far. One of the things that's kind of unique to this build is I didn't actually see the truck chassis for the first 6 to 8 months that I owned the vehicle. Ultimately, I didn't see the chassis and the truck and everything together until about 2 years into the process, after money had exchanged hands and hundreds of emails.
What were you most naive about when this all started?
I think the time commitment. Really, I'm still out of my depth, but maybe less so than when I started. Or I didn't give as much attention to as I should have, is the time commitment to see this project through. It's been five plus years, and we're not done yet. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but we're still breathing.
What is your response to people who say it would be cheaper and faster to just buy a motorhome? Like, why an expedition?
I would say that they're not invited to the barbecue. Can you repeat the question?
I forgot about it.
How do we start over?
Okay.
I think those people are right in a way, but they're missing the point. for me, the point wasn't to simply buy something that I could put on the road and immediately dive into. It was to build something, and to go through that process. And did I understand that the process would be this involved? No. This is a C-zone digital switching system, but they're missing the point. I like the projects. So, I'd say the cool thing about van builds, expedition truck builds, RVs, you build them to fit your personality and your lifestyle. And so it's not that odd to me that somebody would see this and it wouldn't click for them or they wouldn't get it. That's okay. For what I want, I think I've built it for that.
What does this truck mean to you?
I don't know.
Not a lot.
No, not a lot. Okay, a lot. It means a lot. You post your highlights online. Well, I think if you're a normal content creator, you post your highlights online. I don't.
No posts.
No posts.
Highs or lows.
What I mean to say is, they're not all highs. There's been so lot of them. They're all self-inflicted, right? I think I'm out of water. But, early on in the project, right, you're figuring out how to fund your project. Can you fund it? And not only that, but it sounds dumb, but I put so much thought and effort into can you fund it and what should it look like that I really didn't put a whole lot of thought into where are you going to build it.
It's week number 1 for me here. I've actually moved from Seattle down to Texas to help move the build along further. It's through the kindness of some really incredible people that I'm actually able to park Ripley here. This will be the first time in the 3 years that I've owned her that I'll be able to park her somewhere I have access to tools and can work on her daily.
And, that I spend a meaningful amount of time actually trying to solve that problem, moving around from Washington to Texas to Arizona to find places to build it. I look back on it and I'm happy with the experiences now, but I've built this truck across three or four different states now.
It's that day. The last day here in Texas.
What have you learned about yourself in this pursuit?
I love a good project. I'm a perpetual project man. And I think I have learned that I really enjoy sinking my teeth into something that I just don't know a whole lot about. And I've learned so many new skills that I just don't feel like I had any business learning prior to this. Done some welding, plumbing, a lot of electrical, a bit of diesel engine work, still working through that. And I'm not tired of it. I like the variety. And this thing is a gift that keeps on giving projects.
You ready for a few rapid fire questions?
Let's do it.
Okay. What is the number one thing you would change about the truck if you could?
Two things come to mind. Okay.
Well, it's number one, so.
I think I would put a larger engine in the truck. And I want to make sure that that's not interpreted as I want more horsepower. I do want more horsepower, but that's not the main driver. There's complexities there, but that's, if I could wave a magic wand, that's what I would.
All right. Are you ready to get on board with my rapid fire approach?
Sure.
Okay. When you see other expedition trucks, what are you most envious of?
Their tire size.
Do you need a CDL to drive this truck?
You do not. This is an RV.
Will you ever build another truck?
I would never say never. I think if you're asking if I would ever build another chassis, yes, I think I will. Will I ever build another Habitat? I don't think so. I've put a lot into this one. The interior, the styling, the design. I don't know that I have more to give.
Will you ever sell this truck?
It's unlikely. I don't think I ever want to see somebody driving this down the road that's not me.
All right, on the road, you get asked two very common questions. Those two questions are, what is this thing and how much does it cost?
Yeah, I do get asked those questions a lot. And I love meeting people on the road. It's always the gas station talk. But when people ask what it is, I tell them it's an RV. I think I avoid calling it an expedition truck because it feels pretentious, and I think it is pretentious, especially when you drive it down the highway. You know, that's not an expedition. It's just a road trip, and that's okay too.
Hey! I didn't know you were doing that. Sorry.
But I tell them it's custom. Was an empty box on the back, and now I'm building it out into something you can live in.
Okay, and you're dodging the cost question, so let's circle back to that.
5+ years of effort, time is what it's cost.
Yeah, time's expensive.
Time is valuable.
Yes.
You know, I probably have less into this than people would think. And most of the cost is tied up in your time. You know, you can reduce a lot of the cost of building one of these trucks.
We love a little transparency. All right, we always have to bring cosmic entities into play, so I have one more question for you. How has the universe used the truck as a medium for communicating?
I think to answer this question, it's important to note that I feel the universe has me on a pretty short leash.
Yeah, she does. For good reason.
Karma, it's like instant karma with me.
So it's night one in the truck. I packed everything up yesterday and I started driving. I pulled over last night because my truck threw a check engine light.
And it's, you know, they're not major things, right? But if I run my mouth, you know, I'll spill something pretty quickly thereafter.
On your shirt.
On my shirt.
Yeah.
You know, there was a point in time when I was kind of scrambling to find a place to build, work on the truck, that I was moving from Seattle to Texas. Had me break down on that trip, you know, a handful of times. We're back on the road. I got in and out, towed in and out of that shop
Use the left lane to merge onto
within like 5
I-5
hours. Each one successively worse than the last. Until the final breakdown where my transmission exploded. Going 60 miles an hour on a flat piece of highway in the middle of nowhere. And it left me stranded for a couple days to reflect.
Yeah. What a powerful impact.
Powerful,
Hi,
and
Austen.
expensive.
This is Ripley.
So, yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah. The universe has sent messages through the truck.
I think the universe was letting me know that I might be driving the wrong direction.
All right. What's next? What is the upcoming progress?
I got a few. Still working on the water system. I've got tanks installed. Spent just a fortune on fittings. Lost a kidney in the process. And using the truck is. I'm at this point in the build now where in my weekend I can choose to take it out camping, or I can choose to open it up and work on a project in the truck. And I've been doing both, which has slowed progress, but raised. Enjoyed.
There you go. All right, I'm going to count down from 5. In that 5 seconds, you need to come up with your like closing sign off. Okay? 5.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
Sign off for the YouTube video?
Yeah.
The channel?
Yeah. 4, 3, 2, 1.
You know?
That's your sign off?